WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
A lot of people look at us as robots or just out doing a job, but everything we see and do affects us just like it does everybody else.
A lot of problems with first responders and veterans is that now we're in a battlefield that's very different.
I've lost more friends to suicide than I did in combat, and it really hurts.
When you push the human envelope to those maximum extents, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you pull that plug, nothing prepares you for the silence. Nothing prepares you for that void.
You can't come that close to death without it having some effect on you.
I'll never forget my wife telling me, you know, you're not the same Brett that I married.
What War Horses does is it puts you in that environment to, in essence, look in the mirror, but that mirror's that horse, and that horse is going to tell you where you're at.
You got to relax. You got to calm down. You got to slow your mind down and just think about this one thing, controlling that horse.
The first thing we do before we get on a horse, we breathe. To let go of everything. Let go of everything in your head. If I don't let go of everything, I cannot be present with the horse.
It's magic. I just started crying. It was the first time in my life that I literally let everything go.
Compassion, generosity, love, all of these things trickle back into what it is to be a human being.
It's completely changed me.
All the confidence I had lost, it started coming back working with these horses. They've given me my life back.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah, everybody. Let's get this gremlin-free broadcast off and running. How's everybody doing? Oh my gosh. It's like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Well, I guess my computer didn't burst into flames. That's a good thing. That didn't happen, so I'm looking. I think everything's going to be going okay today. So welcome everybody to Friday Night Freedom. This is our last broadcast as a station for the till 2023, and we are we're taking vacations and seeing family and stuff. So this is going to be our last broadcast of the year. Definitely the last Friday Night Freedom until 2023. We'll be back on what's that magic Friday? That first Friday, was that the 6th or something like that?
Yeah.
Let me look at the calendar. The calendar says.
Hopefully the calendar don't blow up.
All right. So unless the world ends, that Friday is going to be the 6th. So that's going to be our next show. But our next show as a station, I believe, is going to be January 2nd for the Monday edition. I think. I didn't see anything else on the calendar, but I think it's going to be on the 2nd. So what do you say? Don't quote me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, don't quote me if I'm wrong.
So anyway, my name is Kaz, and that's Pookie, and we're gonna see. Look at the hat. I got the hat. I saw this. I was at I picked up a couple things at Walmart, and they had Christmas stuff. So I'm like, you know what? This is our last show of the year. I'm gonna buy a Santa hat.
Bah humbug.
And the damn thing didn't fit, so I had to like cut it. Either this is a small hat or I've got a big head. I don't know. So here we are, man. How you been?
The fucking holidays suck, man. That's all I gotta say.
See, it's different. It's different for me this year. Okay, first of all, I just want to start the show before we get into anything. There's a very, very important anniversary today. This is an anniversary that celebrates taxation is theft. So today is December 16th, 2022. 249 years ago today, the Boston Tea Party happened. Tea Party was to protest the British imposing taxation without representation. In a nutshell, it took roughly 3 hours for about 100 men to chop up and dump 45 tons of tea into the Boston Harbor. So that happened 249 years ago today. So always remember, taxation is theft. So back to what bah humbug for the holidays.
Bah humbug.
So this is a bizarre, and I know I've talked about it probably ad nauseum, but I've been having to take a lot of time off of work, just mandatory. So, as an old dude, I'm confused by the effort to encourage employees to use their sick time and PTO. My PTO used to be labeled as sick time. I would use it for doc appointments for myself or my kids. When I was married, my wife would suffer from migraines, so I would take time off from time to time if she was having a particularly bad time. But it was all legit, it was all legit. But my company kind of recategorized sick time, kind of be the kinder, gentler company, and they relabeled it as PTO, personal time off.
Personal time off.
So you use that for sick time, or the cable guys coming over, you got to wait for them, or you got contractors coming over to the house, or you got to take your car in for maintenance. You can use it for damn near anything. So I had a PTO balance. So I can take that time for pretty much whatever I want. We used to get bonuses for not utilizing our sick time. If you didn't take any sick time at the end of the year, you'd get a check at the end of the year for like not a little bit of money. It was pretty cool. So I get 80 hours of sick time per year, but now that's transferred over into PTO. So that's 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks.
Vacation time at that point, extra vacation time.
It kind of is. I mean, you don't want to take a lot of PTO concurrently, unless you're sick. We got like when the spicy flu hit, we did get paid for it without having to use any of our sick time, so that was kind of cool. So when I had when I had it, I ended up getting paid for it. I didn't have to use any vacation. I didn't have to use any sick time. That after the first year, that changed. So we no longer get paid for it. So it's good to have a high balance in your PTO/sick time to use it. So, and due to our vacation policy change, I was informed by my manager back in early October that I would be taking. I told them I'm taking a whole lot of vacation because I can't carry forward any more than 80 hours into the next year. So, and then he said, hey, did you include your PTO? And I thought to myself, well, no, the fuck I didn't. So I told him, I said, dude, Larry, I'm taking a shitload of time off. So today was a PTO day. I'm taking all of next week off, and then we get our, our paid. Actually, 4 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm taking vacation, and then we get, our Christmas break is 2 weeks long. So I'm gonna have to go through new employee training when I get back to work.
Echo.
So here we are.
Someone's saying I'm echoing.
You're not echoing.
Echo. I don't know. Someone said I was echoing. They said Beardy is echoing. So.
How about now?
I don't know. I'm hearing you. You're hearing me. They're hearing us. So.
Okay. I think I got that. I think I got it fixed. I did have your ninja feed coming in. Yeah, Richard. Hey, Dick Branco. We were talking about the name Richard last night, so, and you're the only Richard that I know of, so I use you as an example.
How did they get Dick from Richard, though?
I have no idea. Holly's here. Elizabeth is here. Timmy! Really good to see everybody, man. So, have you been paying attention to any of the drama? There's been drama on the Twitterverse, and I think because there was last week there was like episode 3 of the Twitter files or whatever dropped,
they're up to
and then
6 now,
and then 4 dropped, and then 5 dropped. I'm like, I haven't read any of it past 3.
I think 6 just dropped. I have to go check my bookmarks on here.
Oh my gosh!
Still waiting for my blue check mark, Elon. I'm still waiting on it.
It's in the mail. The blue check is in the mail.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Holly says, I'm excited. Some dumbass is going to let me fly a plane next week. Outstanding.
Yeah, good for you. Good luck with that.
Planes are easy.
The landing is the hard part. Just don't do new pilots will.
Porpoise.
I don't know how to explain it.
That's a porpoise. Dude, did you see that crash of the F-35 at JRB Fort Worth? That was
test pilot, wasn't it? They were testing some shit out.
I don't know what they were doing. I have no knowledge at all.
That was the Bravo, right? That was the F-35 Bravo, the VTOL, right? It was landed. I don't know why its nose did what it did, but crazy.
Yeah, it looked like they had like a compressor stall or something. Something happened and it wasn't good.
I mean, he popped out that hatch real quick though.
He did good as soon as the plane righted itself. He was out. It looked like his pants flew off though.
It did. Not service related though. Not
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. We know you have. Well, you never know. I mean, because we have when we have new aircraft programs, we do have military. I've got a major right now, an Army major pilot. He's an old. He's got 3 combat tours in Afghanistan. He's flying the new aircraft that we're designing right now. Damn good pilot. So I mean, if anything happens, this is a part. I mean, they're our customer. The Army's our customer. So this is his duty. His duty station is my work. So, which is pretty cool because I get paid more money than he does.
Give me an Xbox controller and I'll fly anything, man.
We actually have. I can take a picture of it. We have our gun control. It is an Xbox controller. It's not an Xbox controller, but it is modeled after the Xbox controller.
I don't know if you've seen the Elite version. It's got like rudder pedals and all kinds of stuff on the back. You got extra controls. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I can't use it because my hand's jacked up, so I'm just I need to keep but.
So Elon today Elon Musk, what did he do? He suspended a bunch of journalists, or specific journalists, not like journalistic companies like New York Times or whatever. He got rid of specific journalists that were reporting on him.
I don't know if it was reporting on him. They did do the airplane tracker guy,
which was pretty cool because I'd looked it up and it's easy. It's really, really easy as long as you know the registration, like the N number of his aircraft. As long as you know that, you can find him anywhere in the world because he runs.
This guy's on TikTok. This guy's on TikTok right now showing there's like an open source. Apparently, every airplane has to have a tracker in it. I guess
it's called ADSB.
So, yeah, that's what it is. So there's an ADSB like open source tracker that people like $25 it takes for you to set up to where you can pull that info down, and you can throw it on the internet for real time. That's real time public information. So I don't know, like banning public information is kind of an iffy to me at that point. But,
well, it doesn't say, hey, this is Elon Musk's plane. It doesn't. I mean, when you look up his N number, his name is nowhere on the registration. It's owned by a firm
or LLC of some
yeah, it's
sort.
an LLC,
yeah.
which is fine. That's what you do when you own very, very expensive things. So I'm going to try to pull this up because I thought it was pretty cool.
I will argue free speech is not doxing people in real time, though.
Well,
because if someone just like started tracking you around and started posting your public information all over the place, you'd probably lose your shit, no?
I wouldn't be happy.
But is that considered free speech or is that stalking at a point? I mean, there's ethical questions behind that, huh?
So I've got ADSB Exchange open. I have to figure out.
That's the open source one that the guy was talking about. Correct. It's like anyone can put information on that.
Dude, you can find military aircraft as long as they got their shit turned on. You can find them. Like the what is that, a KC-135? That's called Titties.
Saw that, but I don't think
because I went and pulled its registration number, and they're in the Middle East. They were flying over Israel at the time with a call. I don't know if that's their call sign, but it says titties on it. It's funny. I'm trying to figure out how to use this. I was using it earlier, so somehow I got rid of. Okay, here we go. This is reset map. The map has been reset. It's got my location, but I don't see any aircraft on here. I did something to it, but you can definitely you can track any aircraft, and it's really scary when you first pull it up to see all of the aircraft that are running ADSB right now over the United States, and it's like it's like they're gonna crash. It's like, oh my gosh, you can't even see the contour of the United States or the state lines. You have to they are
attention to elevations and all kinds of crap like that.
Yeah, you got your Z axis, your XY and your Z axis is important because that's your height from the airplane to the ground. So you got aircraft up there that are up there at 40,000 feet. You got aircraft that are out there taxiing on the ground and everywhere in between. So anyway, that's kind of cool. It's cool. I think maybe Elon is just maybe putting it at this level. I mean, and he should probably put it at this level.
He owns the platform. So if he says, I don't want my plane being tracked on my platform, that's his prerogative at that point, isn't it?
It is. I think so. I think it is. But let me see. As of this broadcast, I think it was parked in Oakland, California. It landed at about 3 o'clock Central Time in Oakland, California.
Imagine being
it's parked,
filthy rich like that, and being in an airplane.
Dude, it's a Gulfstream. It's a nice airplane.
Oh God, no! I mean, I don't like flying, man. I hate flying, not private. Like public, American Airlines, Delta, all of them. I just hate the experience. Put me on a damn freaking C-130 with a cargo in the back and let me lay on top of the cargo. I'm the happiest man on the planet.
And fall asleep, take a nap.
Yeah, I'm the happiest man on the planet. Space, give you some space A, man. I'm happy with that. But fuck goddamn commercial flying. That shit sucks.
Especially what you got a thing against American Airlines. So.
Oh no, I started a war with that point. With that, my last experience now, spent more time in hotels than I did in the air.
So I've never flown Space A. I was going to, and it just seemed easier for me to buy a commercial ticket, so I flew just commercially.
Space A's fun. Space A is where it's at.
So there, we're talking Elon and stuff and all this drama, and that's what I just call it drama because really, the internet isn't real. Twitter is not real. It's not real life. It's just you got a bunch of jackasses on there, and it's a collection of jackasses. And, not everybody's going to agree, so you're going to have a lot of disagreements, and you're going to have a lot of shit talking, and I don't think it's a healthy platform. But I'll put my toes into that slurry of wastewater every once in a while.
I'm on there.
Are you on there a lot?
Too much. It's not a healthy addiction at that point.
So if he's gonna ban real time tracking, not just on him, just on anybody, I think he put out a blanket statement, no real time tracking of anybody. Is that right?
That's what he was supposed to do, but apparently there's a couple still floating around. I think like Taylor Swift.
They got Taylor Swift. They've got all the oligarchs from Russia. They got Vladimir Putin is in there. Trudeau is in there. That's like all the world leaders are in there. But since we're in the Christmas season, are they going to get rid of NORAD Santa?
That's a good question.
We're not going to be able to track Santa. This is for the kids, Mr. Musk. Can I call you Elon? This is for the kids, Elon. You got to let the kids track Santa, so you have to make an exception.
So there's a story behind the NORAD Christmas tracker. It was like some kid called in by accident to like NORAD or something and was asking about Santa Claus, so they just kind of made this shit up or something like that.
They just went with it. I think that's pretty cool, man. It hasn't been around a long time. I mean, it was around about 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know the history of NORAD Santa. I think it was about 10 years ago, 15 years ago it came out because I remember finding it on the internet and going, wow, this is pretty cool, and I got my kids involved in it. I just think it's cool. You can track.
Here's one.
Track Santa Claus.
You're talking about NORAD. Will Elon Musk suspend NORAD for tracking Santa on Christmas Eve? Blah blah blah. It's all over the internet now. Looks like NORAD Command is going to get Elon banned for their evil Santa tracker. A bunch of people are just talking about exactly what we were talking about. So, I mean, usually it's the news stations that we're tracked at. I remember as a kid, it was like local news or like the Weather Channel or crazy crap like that. And I never paid attention to that shit on Twitter. No, I don't know.
No, I don't. And just because I've got the ability.
How many 8-year-olds are sitting on Twitter tracking Santa Claus? That's my big question.
Hopefully there's no 8-year-olds on Twitter.
Zero. I'm hoping 0. And if I think the age, there's like a law saying you have to be like 13 years old before you can start using platforms such as that. Yeah, like I hope by the time you're 13, you're have gotten over your Santa fever. I don't want to drop bombs on people who might have kids listening.
Let the kids believe. That's about the time you stop believing in Santa and start chasing girls or boys or whatever your preferences are.
Or playing video games.
Or playing video games. Whatever you do. So how are you feeling about crypto? Since we've had a little bit of time for the dust to settle from the FTX debacle. And it's amazing, to me at least, how much influence one crypto exchange has over the entirety of the crypto markets.
I think it'll bounce back. It's definitely going to bounce back from this shit. Like right now would be the time to, I say, double down. Best way to put it. If you haven't invested,
this is not financial advice. This is all personal advice.
No. This is. I mean, if you watch the trend of Bitcoin, it goes up, goes down, then goes really up, then goes really down, then goes really, really, really up, and then goes really, really, really down. I mean, there's just it's a new thing. People are still trying to figure it out. I've got, like I said, I have a couple holdings in the crypto exchange. I'm glad it wasn't with FTX.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, everyone knows. I mean, FTX was corrupt as heck.
Yeah, I've got some information I'm going to share with our audience here. I tried to break it down Barney style, but dude, it's kind of complex.
It gets deeper too, but you go with it. You roll with it.
Okay, if I say anything wrong or incorrect or whatever, jump in there and please correct me, because I don't know if I understand this completely. So, a federal grand jury in Manhattan returned an indictment charging Samuel Bankman-Fried, otherwise known as SBF. He's 30 years old, out of Stanford, California, with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit commodities fraud, conspiracy to commit securities fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and conspiracy to defraud the Federal Election Commission and commit campaign finance violations. Basically, it appears that he used his exchange as a Ponzi scheme, and it just made him and his buddies rich. So how does this happen? How exactly does the second largest crypto exchange in the world simply become broke in the span of about a week? FTX was started in 2019. FTX stands for, not field training exercise, it stands for Future Exchange. In the beginning of November, FTX was valued at about $18 billion US. The company is a cryptocurrency exchange, and it's like one big unregulated bank. You can create an account with real money or crypto, and then you can exchange your crypto for other crypto. It's like a closet that's full of shoes. You want to wear this pair of shoes, or you want to wear that pair of shoes, you just kind of put your pair of shoes in there, and then you take the other pair of shoes out. It's kind of like that. So these folks were swimming in cash. During last Super Bowl, 2022 Super Bowl, they bought 2 minutes and 30 seconds worth of advertising. Cost them about $40 million. On November 6th, Binance, another exchange, liquidated all of their holdings in FTX to the tune of $2.1 billion. Dude, this is amazing. This is amazing amount of money. Once Binance announced that what they had done, everyone else on the planet did the same thing. So it's like all of this money is escaping FTX. On November 11th, FTX filed for bankruptcy, and subsequently Bloomberg valued the entire company at $1. So they were gone.
Not Trevor Noah. No.
Dude, every time I see a picture of that guy, I'm like, is that Trevor? No, that's not Trevor Noah.
Not a Harry Potter actor. Oh dear Lord.
I mean, she looks like she could be in Harry Potter. So the dude on the left there is Bankman, and the one to the right, what's her name? Carol. She's the CFO of the company. She looks like she's 12.
And she was a CFO. She was too worried about getting banged out by like 50 dudes in her complex, for what I understand.
Yeah, she's got issues, man. She's openly talks about taking amphetamines and kind of looking down on the portion of the population that doesn't self-medicate. Yeah. She looks like she comes with a whole bunch of baggage. So where did all this money go? So it's estimated, and dude, they had billions of dollars.
So where did the money go? It's estimated that $43 million was given to FTX's own, they have their own super PAC in Washington. So 43 million of those dollars went there. And tens of millions more were donated to politicians on both sides of the aisle in an effort to buy influence. Samuel Bankman-Fried was trying to directly influence the direction of policies and laws affecting the cryptocurrency industry by attempting to buy politicians. According to publicly disclosed campaign contributions, Samuel donated $40 million to Democrats. And there was about $1 million donated to Republicans during the 2022 election cycle. So he's being detained. He's under arrest. He's in jail in the Bahamas while the United States prepares extradition paperwork. But that, the hearings are happening.
You didn't even touch the whole Ukraine thing, man. I'm shocked about that.
A bunch. Okay, so with the Ukraine thing, a bunch of this money flowed into FTX, and then FTX flowed a lot of that money into Ukraine. Is that right?
No. The U.S. was giving aid for this Ukraine war.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Ukraine was taking some of it, invested into FTX. I mean, yeah, you want to, bank some money, bankroll some money, bankroll in crypto is the best way to do it.
It's the second. I mean, and why wouldn't you? They were the second most powerful exchange.
It makes sense. But there's a whole conspiracy right now that what was happening, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, it was called 10% for the big guy. And all this money was going over, and it was coming, it was getting funneled back into this crypto exchange, and the crypto exchange was donating heavily to specific political parties. So it was like this big money laundering kind of like funneling. I can't wait. I mean, they're not going to talk about apparently they said we're not going to talk about the political donations during this investigation already. So, I mean, that's enough for me to be like, yeah, some shit was happening. But, it's nuts. Like the whole scheme's crazy. Like what's his name? Brady and his Giselle.
Oh, like Tom Brady. Crap. Tom Brady's someone. There's someone out there who just launched a lawsuit against him. And I think Shaq's wrapped up in that too, because Shaq.
There's a couple big people that were. Well, there was a joke floating around with the commercial with that one guy. He's like, I don't know about it. I don't know about it. I don't know. And they're like, he was like, right. He was a big actor. He was on Seinfeld a couple times. God, what's his fucking name? I should know it. I'm thinking too hard on this. He was a skeptic during the commercial, and now everyone's like, look. He was right.
He was right. Exactly. I mean, it's good to be skeptical. I'm skeptical. So anyway, there's a hearing going on right now, and it's chaired by Maxine Waters.
Oh, dear Lord.
And this is my opinion. She's a heavily corrupted. I tried to describe, who she is. These are my words. These are Kaz's words. She's a heavily corrupted Democratic representative from California. So during the hearing, she shut down, or at least tried to shut down questioning before all the congressional members had time to ask their questions. This was pretty cool. She just tried to move on. So here's an audio clip of that. I hope you guys can hear this. Hold on.
Oh, please play this, because it's epic. It's fucking epic. She tried to just ignore this shit.
Chairwoman Waters.
Presence here today.
Chairwoman Waters. I've not been on a period.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear it, but I hope y'all can hear it.
I'd like to thank you for your presence.
Chairwoman Waters. Parliamentary inquiry.
Yes.
Are all members entitled to question witnesses?
You are, and if you would like to miss the votes on the floor for everybody.
Hey, it's the chairwoman's prerogative to call a recess.
1 moment, please.
That's your decision, not mine.
Just 1 moment, please. You may go right ahead and have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're certainly welcome, sir.
You're certainly welcome, sir. You can see all the attitudes just dropping. That was it was pretty tense. It was pretty tense. She knew she had fucked up. And then she ended up allowing him to ask some questions. But yeah, she tried to like just kind of
shut it short.
Cut it short before everyone had a chance to ask
like,
questions. This is going to be going on for a while. I mean, both in the Senate, the Senate Finance Committees and the Congressional Finance Committees, they're all talking about this right now.
What's the Public Affairs Office, Public Affairs White House? What's her name? She lost her mind when someone said, "Hey, what are we going to do about these donations? Are they going to go back to the people who invested?" And she's like, "I can't answer these questions. We're about law here." And like, are you serious?
Yeah, she's worse than Raggedy Ann.
Oh dear Lord!
I think she just reads. She's like the Ron Burgundy of. She just reads what's on the paper. She doesn't know anything. She just reads whatever's on the paper.
It's like, at least she doesn't say circle back about 1,000. No, we'll circle back to that.
Circle back, Saki.
Todd Washburn said, "Imagine voting for these people." It's like, well, I mean,
it happened.
Did it though? That's the question.
So. Here's my tinfoil hat. I know I'm wearing a Santa cap right now, but I'm gonna. You know what I should have done? I should have bought 2 hats and made one a tinfoil Santa cap and then just a regular Santa cap.
Oh, an aluminum Santa. I want one now. I'm trademarking that. That's my creation.
So, cryptocurrency. The draw to cryptocurrency was basically to invest in something that's separated from regulation.
Decentralization.
It's decentralization. It is dependent upon itself and its own utility. Bitcoin is the leader. Is it unreasonable to think that this failure is somewhat orchestrated in a way to make people more accepting of federal regulation of the cryptocurrency industry? Does that make sense? Should I ask that again?
No, I get what you're saying. So that's
it's like an orchestrated failure. There's going to be a fall guy. There's going to be a fall guy. People are going to get prosecuted. Some people are going to probably go to jail. But then, but now we're gonna, the government's going to be there to save everybody, and we're going to regulate this. I think any and all of that money that was donated from FTX to any political person should be returned and given back to the investors, because investors lost a shit ton of money. If they were sleeping at the wheel for more than a couple of hours when after Binance had sold all of their billions of dollars in holdings, they liquidated everything. Then they announced it, I think, on just Twitter. And then it was like people were like, "Well, shit, I'm going to get my money out of there too."
It turned into a bank run, is what it
sure did. And then
who could withdraw their funds the fastest got it, and the people that were asleep or maybe drinking coffee and weren't paying attention. That's the crazy part about crypto, is like you can literally lose thousands of dollars in a split second if you're not paying attention to it 24/7.
Yeah, I'm on crypto.com, and you can see it gives you a real time. Are you earning money? Are you losing money within the last 24 hours? So from this moment to 24 hours ago, it gives you're either up or you're down. And I've had days where I'd look at it and it's like, fuck,
dude.
I'm down like thousands of dollars, or I'm up thousands of dollars. There's
been days where I've looked at it, I'm like, oh, I'm actually making money. Yay, let's go fucking party. And then on the next day, I'm like, oh shit, this just lost a lot of money.
Yeah, I think Robinhood has a really good app to look at the metrics of your investments. I think
I use Coinbase. Coinbase gives you alerts, like it'll be like, hey, this specific crypto is down this hour by it gives you hourly updates.
I need to sign up. I do use Coinbase, but I haven't signed up yet. I think I should, just to have full access to the data there. And I'm not sure how much delayed their data is. I know it doesn't match.
It's usually about an hour. It's maybe an hour. Yeah, I'd say it doesn't keep up. I just wish there was one that would be like on top, like, hey, this trending right now, it's dropping, and this one's trending, it's going up.
So
but I don't know if there's like some sort of federal regulation against that crap or something like that. I don't know how it works, but
Musa has a good question. He's like, well, how would you regulate it? Would you regulate it as a security? Or how would you regulate it as a currency?
This is why I don't like fiat currency. I hate it. And I hate the idea, the whole concept of it.
But if it were to be regulated, I think it would be regulated as just kind of like stocks or like a money market. Or
I mean, that's what they were trying to do. Like, if you withdraw and liquidate, that's where you get your capital gains from with it. That's the way it works right now. I mean, it's not considered as like, oh, you're holding on to this. You've made this much money. While it's considered more of a stock exchange for tax purposes, which I like that idea. But you know, keep your own personal wallets. That's a good practice if you can do it. No?
Don't have it in an exchange. Have it on a drive somewhere.
Yeah, have that was the original, like the OG. Like I told you, like I've got like 16, maybe 35 Bitcoins floating around on a thumb drive somewhere that I cannot find. I don't know what happened to it.
Dude, I'd tear that house down to the studs. But the thing is, you've lived in the last couple of years. You've lived in 3 different places, so they could be anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. That's the thing about it. I encrypted the hell out of it, so if anyone gets their hands on it, it's worthless to them at that point.
But it's gone. It's burnt.
It's burned up. Yeah. And to me, I was like, crap. I could have bought me like a car or a really nice computer and a bunch of other things with that. But hey.
So yeah, it's a game that I'm playing, but it's not the only game that I'm playing. I mean, 99.9% of all my investments are in 401ks and then an actual traditional savings vehicles, and I'm just playing around with this crypto thing. Hopefully, one day I can have a G500 and I can race Elon across the United States.
Yeah, right. That's why I hold, like, if I buy crypto, I hold on to it. I don't let go. I got them diamond hands. I ain't letting go of nothing, just hold on to it. Because I really wish, like, I sold a lot of Bitcoin early on, and I really wish I wouldn't have done it. I was like, oh, it's $100, cool, and traded. Never thinking it would hit where it would hit at one point.
Where did it go? It went up. I mean, Bitcoin went up to like
60 plus, yes. And, like, I was selling at like 1,000 at one point. I'm just like...
They did an interview with a guy that he ended up buying when Bitcoin started to be accepted as methods of payment. He ended up buying like pizzas or something with Bitcoin.
No, he bought a pizza. It was like they called it like the $15 million pizza.
Yeah.
He was like, here, that was the idea of the exchange. It was supposed to be a currency other than US dollar at that point. Like people don't accept silver and gold anymore, so screw it. I have this. I'll trade for a pizza. All right, that's how currency works. Yeah, that's how currency works.
I think the only person that accepts gold or silver is Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector of the North.
I don't know. If someone said, "Hey, if you do work for me and I'll pay you in silver or gold," I'm going to take it. No, that's just me. That's just me. Oh, all right, cool. I know how to sell it.
Anything of value. Yeah, I mean, you can go to a reputable coin dealer and get, you can get market price, plus.
They'll pay mail value for it. Just boom. Of course, you're going to lose money on it. Like if you buy the silver and then turn around and sell it, there's a buyers and sellers market. So right. I mean, but I still invest in the silver real heavy. I buy silver all the time. So it's just anytime I can get my hands on a bar of it, I'm like, all right, cool.
So you buy physical silver, not just.
Yes. Okay. No, like bars. Yeah, bars or coins. But if it has a melt value to it, I'll buy it off of you. Right?
So what do you say? It's a little bit early, and we started a little bit late, but we can take a short break. And it'll be a short break, and then we'll come back and get to the rest of these stories. I'm not sure how much more content we've got.
We'll smoke a cigarette real quick and be back. Smoke them if you got them.
So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna. Hey, see, I didn't really count. What were you gonna say?
I said whoever's moderating YouTube. We've got some weird adult sites being spammed on YouTube right now.
Sorry, girls 569XYZ. We're kind of busy here with the show, but thank you.
You gotta get the band. All right.
All right, so I'm at 3. I'm at number 3. I got to remember the number 3. So anyway, we are going to take a break. We're going to be back in just a. It's going to be a short break, so don't go far. Refresh your drink. Take a walk around the house. Take the dog out. Go outside, smoke a cigarette. Whatever you do on break time, go ahead and do it because we're going to take a very short break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Eggnog shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio.
John Hancock. It's Herbie Hancock.
Yeah. The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we are back with part 2 of Friday Night Freedom. And welcome. This is our last show before the end of the year. The next time you see a show from WTF Nation Radio, it's going to be 2023. So I appreciate you all being here. My name is Kaz. Up there is Pookie, and we're going to take you the rest of the way. So yeah, I got a new look. I got a new look behind me here. It used to be just a blank ass wall, and I was using this silly virtual background, which I really didn't like because it was grainy and it didn't, it kind of faded in, faded out. It didn't work all the time. So it's just, time, trying to find time to do the work. So I took some time this week and did what I could. I started last weekend after Friday's show last week. I was going to reveal this next year. So you guys are the first to see it. The reason I revealed it tonight is because using the broadcast software, I tried to make improvements last week, and when I made those improvements, I lost all of my prior settings, and that included backgrounds and transitions and everything that I worked the entire year on. It was lost, so I've got to rebuild all that stuff. So this is what I'm going with. So this is going to be my background. I think we're going to, yes, Patrick, it's OBS. I'm going to be, and I don't mean to do this as a punishment or anything, Pookie, but I think I might have to put you in a bubble. I'm going to try to make it not like a radar bubble because that's trademarked. So I'm going to come up with something cooler than a bubble. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Don't put baby in a box or whatever.
No one puts Pookie in a bubble.
Yeah, when Pookie's not here, I sit in the middle here, so I've got this space and this space available, and it's not conducive to a rectangle. So now I've got to scooch all the way over here just to have room for my friend Pookie here. Yeah, I don't like talking all the way off to the side. So here we are. We're back. We're back for part 2. I forgot intro music for this section, but hey, I had to rebuild everything. So give me a break, right?
Yeah.
So what's the last? Do you go to theaters at all?
I haven't been to a movie theater. I think the last time I've been in the quote unquote theater was a Rocky Horror Picture Show at a George Mason University, like a live theater kind of thing.
And that's a long time ago.
Oh God, it was probably about pushing, I'd say close to 8 years now at that point.
Yeah, I'm not the type of man that runs out to the movies a lot. CQ, I think he lives at the theater. He really likes going to see movies in the theater. He doesn't wait for them to come out on DVD. He doesn't get them to watch, to stream or to like on demand or whatever. So COVID pretty much cemented my view on hanging out in public places for recreation. I just don't do it anymore. The last movie I saw in the theater was Top Gun 2. So I do go out. And see movies. So I did go see Top Gun 2. And before that was Bohemian Rhapsody. And then before that was American Sniper. So you can probably think of like when these movies were released. There's quite a few years between them. But a new documentary had come out. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the brainiac from the Bronx and New York Congresswoman, she's been beating the drum of climate change for a really long time. So her name is attached to this documentary. My view is the climate changing? Sure, of course it is. Did humans directly cause it? Probably not. Is there anything that we can do to alter climate change right now? No, absolutely not. I think it's a cyclical thing. I think that we as humans, not just Americans, but humans, take care of your planet. Don't
trash
shit. Don't trash your house. You don't shit in your own bed.
People see people throwing Starbucks coffee cups out the goddamn window, I want to fight them.
That's yeah. It gets me up. Like if I'm sitting in a drive-through, and this got me. I was in a Taco Bell drive-through, and there was a dude like 3 cars ahead of me. They had ordered and they kind of pulled around, and then the dude in the back seat, passenger side, opened up the window and threw like a full 7-Eleven, like a Slurpee cup on the ground. I'm like, dude,
don't do that. That's the kind of shit where people need to just like go up and throw it back in the vehicle.
Yeah,
that's take your trash to a receptacle, please.
I mean, dude, you're at a restaurant. They've got trash cans here. I mean, take a second out of your busy schedule and just take a walk to the
shit in your own bed. Tell that to Amber Heard. Yes.
So, I mean, really, if anybody's got a different view on climate and whatever, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I mean, please change. I mean, I don't want to sound like Steven Crowder, but change my mind.
My sister will sit here and debate you for probably 3 hours.
Okay, and that's fine. I mean, summers are hot, winters are cold.
She's got a PhD in this shit. So
well, and that's good. It's good to have that education. I don't have that. I'm just a dude who says summers are hot, winters are cold. No summer has been much hotter than the last. No winter has been colder than the last. There's your outliers. Like down here in Texas, we had that bad freeze a couple years ago. That doesn't happen every year. It doesn't progressively get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Summers are hot. Like some summers are hotter than others, but they don't get progressively hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter.
I mean, my experience is I know there's climate change happening because I've witnessed it living in Pennsylvania for as long as I had as a kid, and then I used to go up there to hunt. And during the hunting season, when I was a kid, there would always be snow on the ground, and now it's 70 degrees out with ticks all over the place. So I mean, yeah, the climate is changing. I don't know. I don't like.
But it's not because I'm driving a gas car. Or it's not because I commute to work.
I mean, you look back at the 1800s, people were throwing freaking benzene into the damn lakes and crap like that because they couldn't figure out what to do with it. So, right. I mean, we're a hell of a lot better than what we're a hell of a lot better with what we do with carbon than we used to be. So
I mean, imagine during the Industrial Revolution where the goal was to get ahead and win and to automate things, and just you've got machines now that will do work. So you have factory workers and whatever, and they just didn't. This is what we made. We're making widgets, and we're making lots and lots of widgets. This is great. But there's all this other waste stuff. Just put it in a pile. We'll get rid of it later. That was the view. Dump that shit out. Just dump that shit out, and it ends up getting into the streams and the rivers and whatnot. We don't do that anymore. People do that, they're assholes. We know better. The thing is, the more educated we get, the more educated we get as a society, I think the better decisions that we make. That's the end of it. I think everything's going to get better, but this Green New Deal thing. Anyway, I'm digressing. Unbeknownst to a lot of people, AOC made this documentary regarding climate change and the impending doom of our planet. The core goal of the film was to highlight. Oh gosh, let me put this up here. I forgot that story. Oh, we're gonna go back to that guy. I'm gonna circle back, and we're gonna talk about that guy. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I heard about this guy. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
The core goal of the film was to highlight the legislative process involved in trying to affect climate change. This was probably a massive effort. Thousands of hours were involved in filming and editing. Lots of people were probably involved. The film boasted an 88% fresh Critics' Choice Award on Rotten Tomatoes. She had rave reviews from critics, but when it actually came down to the numbers, the actual metrics, a different story was told. The documentary is called To the End. It was shown on 120 screens, but it earned less than $10,000 across all theaters, averaging about $83 per theater. That's bad, right?
Well, that's real bad.
I don't remember seeing any advertisement. This is when I saw this picture here that you're seeing on the screen, that's the first time I saw that picture. Did they not have any advertising budget?
No, they just assumed. They assumed people would want to watch it. And...
So yeah, it hit 120 screens, but it earned less than $10,000. Maybe CQ can talk about this. I'm not sure how movie releases. Maybe they release it on a small amount of screens to see if people. It's like fishing. You try this fishing hole. Are you getting any bites?
Well, they do that with Japanese anime like movies. Like when they come to the States, like the big ones, like the Dragon Ball Z, War of the Gods, or your My Hero Academia. They only hit select few theaters, and they're only there for like a day or so. But usually when people find out about like, oh, I can watch this anime in the theater, people go to that crap, man. They that maxes out, no? They're making their money off of that one showing or two showings. I don't know how many showings she did with this, but like 10,000 max, I think she made out of that.
$10,000, yeah. Out of all the 120 theaters. And that's an average. It's $83 per theater. I'm sure there's theaters out there that made $0. But there's theaters out there that maybe made more than that.
There's 5 people that said it's exactly right. And
it might have been everybody who was involved in the film went to go see it. I don't know. And the thing is that's not a reflection. That is absolutely not a reflection of the people that are concerned about the health of the planet.
No, it's just people are sick of people spoon feeding narratives down their throats.
Yeah. And so I've got a note here. I've got a note here. It says, should AOC want to come on WTF Nation Radio and defend her position, I would love to hear her arguments. Let's have a conversation. Okay, I'll stay true to that. When I wrote that, I remember writing that last night. I had a couple of Yinglings in me, so maybe I wasn't.
I mean, I'll debate her if you want me to.
Hey. What was that? We just we all wanted. We're just mad because we want to date her or something like that.
No.
What is that? What is that?
No, I would literally like to have a conversation, like a normal American, me, sit down and talk to her and just pick at her brain and try to figure out what's going on in that little whatever's going on up there. Because I think I'm batshit crazy. But then I look at her and I'm like, oh shit, she's batshit crazy. So we're both crazy. So yeah, it'd be a very interesting conversation.
You know what I'd like to see is her and CQ and the pop culture audience that we have. His shows are on Tuesdays. He played what's that? It's that mystery killer thing. Something Among Us. Is it Among Us?
Oh yes, Among Us. Yes, that's a great game. Yes.
He played.
I missed that. I wanted to play, but I got sidetracked talking to a homeboy of mine that was kind of going through the seasonal depression crap. So I was like, oh, I missed it.
That's a real thing, man. That's seasonal depression.
Gotta make sure you check up on your homeboys, brothers and sisters during this time of the year. Sometimes hey, how you doing? Happy holidays. Bring someone out of a deep hole at that point, and that's all I got to say at that point.
Yeah, especially if you think that you're just a fucking piece of furniture in the room and no one notices you. We do. Your friends do. I got some of the closest friends in my life I haven't talked to in years. But as soon as I send them a message and shit, it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? And then we catch up. I work with a bunch of guys. I don't work with I used to work with a bunch of guys, and we've all kind of gone to other companies and stuff. So we're still in the Metroplex. It's just I haven't talked to these guys in like 10 years. We're miles away from each other. We just don't see each other. We're busy, and there's 100,000 excuses you can make. But it just takes. With social media and emails and text messages and stuff, it's really easy just to say hi. Just to say hi. And maybe that makes all the difference in the world to someone, to anyone. So what do we got? Oh, God, this fucking guy.
Oh, yes.
Let's go to the other fucking guy.
Chad. I'm just going to say this is Chad move at this point.
Oh, my gosh. Where is this guy? Where is Where's this guy?
It was your last slide.
It was my last slide. I'm trying to find my text on it. Oh, that guy. Here we go. All right, this dude right here. This guy's a badass, man. I haven't watched Survivor since I think I probably watched maybe the first 5 seasons of it. And then I'm like, okay, this is kind of the same. So I stopped paying attention to it. So on Wednesday, Mike Gabler was announced as the winner of season 43. They're up to 43 now. That's crazy. He's the season 43 winner of Survivor. His money prize for winning was $1 million. That's a lot of cash, man. It's a whole bunch of scratch. But during the entire competition, Mike was having conversations with the other competitors, and he said that if he won, he was going to donate the money to charity. A lot of people say that, and then once they get that money in the bank account, they're like, no, this is cool. I'm going to buy stuff, Lamborghinis and stuff. But after winning, after he was announced as being the winner, Mike made good on his promise, and he donated the entire amount to organizations that help veterans recovering from psychiatric problems and PTS. He made the donation in his father's name, Robert Gabler, who was a Green Beret. So good on you, man. Good on you, Mike. That's hero shit right there. I think that's pretty badass. Is he a doctor? He's a heart doctor?
Not sure.
A thoracic surgeon?
I have not watched Survivor since probably like Survivor 2. No one paid attention.
God, that used to be so. God, Survivor back in the early days used to be. What was that Joe Rogan? The Joe Rogan
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. Eat the anus out of a fucking mule or whatever. It used to be like that. It used to be pretty bad. OSHA was probably going, holy shit, we need to regulate this. Because it's really dangerous, man. Some of they're in pretty bad situations. And then there's like Naked and Afraid and all these other spin-offs that kind of mimic what Survivor is. But yeah, good on Mike Gabler for making good on his promise to donate his winnings. And he won and he did it, and that's great. And hopefully that helps a lot of veterans. So now I'm up to this fucking guy. And I don't get it, but we're going to talk about it. Sam Brinton is a nuclear engineer. He was born on September 11th, 1987.
Oh, the freaking luggage thief. All right.
So Sam's got this pronoun thing going on, but I'm going to opt out of calling he, them, because my brain melts a little if I have to call he, them. So I'm going to call him a he. I'm going to I can't say, I can't trick my brain into speaking incorrectly, even though it's politically correct to call him, them. You know what I mean? I can't call him, them. I have to call him, them.
I thought it was Matt Damon first.
Well, you can see the new Born Identity poster there.
I thought Matt Damon literally shaved his head. The first time I saw it, I was like, what the heck is Matt Damon doing? Then I saw the whole article and found out about, I guess, this guy. I guess you could call him this guy, them.
This
I
them.
don't know how that works.
This them. He's a them.
This guy. So that's right. Oh my God! How do you get a top? Never mind. I'm gonna get into that.
So, Sam is the first openly gender fluid individual to serve within the federal government leadership. In federal government leadership, his job was working. That is a true statement, because who's the person that is the Surgeon General that is a transgender. So he's not gender fluid, he's transgender.
Gender fluid. Yeah.
This person is gender fluid, so I guess they bounce around. So he's the first openly gender fluid individual to serve within the leadership of the federal government. His job was working with spent fuel and waste disposition for the Office of Energy from June to December of this year. He had a 6-month run. So why was it so short? To my knowledge, he was pretty good at the job. There was a formal complaint with an accusation of hiring malpractice filed with the IG in concern for his qualifications. The dude's only got a bachelor's degree. So allegedly he knows his shit, but he was relieved of duty and suspended pending an investigation. It was alleged that he stole a person's luggage from an airport carousel in November of this year in Minneapolis, St. Paul Airport. Okay, fine. Weeks later, Sam was apparently fired from his position because he got busted stealing another person's luggage in a Las Vegas airport. This guy's got a problem. According to his personnel file, he's unmarried. He earns an annual salary of $178,000 per year. And he has amassed a net worth of over $1 million.
In 6 months.
Because he is also an LGBTQ activist.
So he gets paid to speak?
Yeah, he probably gets paid to speak places, yeah.
Or they gets...
They gets to speak.
They gets to speak.
They gets paid to speak at events.
They's making money.
They's making money.
All right, gotcha. I'm figuring it out. Holy crap, man.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. I don't want to disrespect him in any. I don't want to disrespect they in any way. But it is really hard to trick my brain into speaking new ways like this.
New speak.
It's new speak. It's going to take a while. But I mean, he makes all this money. He's got all this money, but they is stealing luggage at an airport. I don't get it. I don't think these are the first times that he's done it. Maybe it is. Maybe he just really sucks at stealing shit.
Or Day's house is full of graveyard of luggage.
Oh my gosh.
We don't know about. I mean, where those dresses, you always get like women get creeped out about dudes checking them out at the airport, and he's checking you out for your dresses. So I mean, your wardrobe.
I mean, the balls that this guy's got to have to just walk up to a luggage carousel, grab a piece of luggage, and start to walk out with it. That's I don't know, man. I don't know. When I go to an airport and I travel, I am usually the first at the carousel, and I'm right there when my luggage comes out. I don't want it to.
My luggage usually is very distinct because I still roll around with one of those duffel bags, old green duffel bags.
You know what I did? I did an adult thing like 2 weeks ago. I actually bought. I've been using the same freaking luggage since forever. I bought it. It works for me. I've never gotten rid of it, but it's been hobbled. It's got like 2 sets of wheels. It's one of the legs that it sits up on is broken, so it kind of leans. When you set it down, it leans over, and it was just time for me to get a new piece of luggage. I didn't buy an entire luggage set. I just wanted like a big checked luggage bag. So I ended up buying one, and it's got 4 wheels, so I can push it. I can just push it with like 2 fingers. It's pretty cool. It's a cool piece of luggage. I don't know how excited you can be about a piece of luggage. But I guess when you get older, you get excited about buying freaking household appliances. Oh, look, I got this new vacuum cleaner, man. Check this out.
I just got a new fridge the other day. Right? Speaking of which, I was like, oh, I got a new fridge. This is cool.
It's cool. You got that new electronic smell. It's yeah. You get excited about the dumb things. Oh my gosh, Patrick, that's great. He goes, it's like one of those mystery loot boxes.
Yes.
That's funny. That's hilarious. I mean,
I mean, nuclear waste. Okay, I'm just curious. Like, we're talking on this. What is the criteria anymore to get into government like leadership positions now? Is it like a checkbox? And if you check so many of the checks on the checkbox, you're more qualified?
I'm going to assume a bunch of things right here. Clearly, he's got the education. He's got a bachelor's degree in nuclear science. Okay. So he's not a dumb person. They's not a dumb person. But I think And based on the fact that when this person was hired, there was in the government there were complaints, and a formal complaint was filed with the IG for hiring malpractice, because there were clearly in this person's there were more qualified people available.
Which I'm all about. Like, always hire the most qualified individual. It doesn't matter about anything. Just, it's a government position. You always want to make sure the most qualified person is in said position.
Right. I mean, if Sam wanted to come to work, dress as Big Bird, but if he was the most qualified person, I would not have a problem with it.
I have no issue with. I don't care what you do or how you present yourself. I mean, maybe a little bit of professionalism, but I mean, professionalism is skirted nowadays, especially, with the dog mask guy from everyone's been talking about this week.
Wasn't that guy a colonel, or he is a colonel?
Yes, it's a colonel. Yeah, Ice was showing the pictures the other night, and I was like, I can't believe. I still to this day, a beard is considered unprofessional, but I can be running around with a dog gimp mask on, and no one bats an eye about that shit. So it's just, you're not allowed to kink shame, but there's no professionalism anymore. Like the suits, like back in the day, men used to walk around in suits, go to work. You don't see that anymore. You don't see that crap anymore.
I do. At my job, everyone it's pretty much the engineers are business casual. As far as the technicians go, it's just don't wear. We're not allowed to wear politically charged.
That makes sense. 100%.
Clothing
or certain religious things. Like,
correct. But I mean, it's just be respectful, dress respectfully. Anybody who's interfacing with the customer, they have to dress. They have to up their dress. And if VIPs come in, then wear a suit coat. But I don't see anybody in suits anymore. I do see people in like sport coats and ties or sport coats.
I would expect engineers to be running around in like a whole freaking Gucci 3-piece like professional. Maybe your button-up collar, maybe a tie, and if sometimes in engineering you can't wear a tie, bow tie or something like that, so you don't get your tie caught.
They tried to implement a dress code for us, but it wasn't working out because there are days that we sit and we do nothing. But there are other days where we're crawling around on the ground. And so it was like, you ruin your clothes in a day. So they let us wear, anybody who's working with our machinery, we're allowed to wear disposable clothes, so to speak, jeans, t-shirts, coveralls. Yeah. It all depends on what the job of the day is. So anyway, I hate to be the back in my day. I don't want to be that guy. But times have changed since I was younger. Background investigations, security clearance, those are a thing. To get a security clearance, you need to go through a background investigation. So they send people not to your house, but they send people to your neighbor's house. They send them to wherever you went to school. I gave a
reference to a childhood friend from like elementary school because that's the only they knocked on their door. They're like, holy crap, these people actually came and asked me about you. I was like, well, I mean, you're about the only reference I had in the area because I lived in that area for so long. I needed a reference. So I gave them a heads up. They will investigate. I don't know how many times my door has been knocked on just randomly. And there's like, hey, I'm with, I don't know what they call themselves, but they show their ID badge or whatever it is. They start asking questions. I'm like, all right, well, dude seems decent.
Yeah, I have
the guy for a little bit.
When I lived in Burleson, Texas, I had a neighbor. He worked at Comanche Peak, which is our local nuclear facility. He was he was applying for a job in Arkansas somewhere. So, of course, he had to go through the security clearance process. So I got a phone call. He put me down as a reference. He let me know that he asked me, can I put you down as a reference? Of course you can. You're my neighbor. You're cool. He put me down as a reference, and a couple months later, I got a phone call saying that, hey, we need to have an interview with you. And I'm like, okay, here's when I'm available. They're like, okay, can you do it at noon? I'm like, well, if we're going to do it at noon, then you can come to where I work because I'm not going to take time off to talk to you. And they ended up I put in a visit request for them to come in, and we sat in the cafeteria for about an hour talking about my neighbor. And they ask a lot of really good questions, a lot of good character questions. So I'm wondering how the conversation went with when Sam here got his security clearance. I wonder how that conversation.
My big question was, like, they just handing security clearances out to people nowadays? Because I mean, in my eyes, I hate to say it, but I see some mental instability in the
especially now. I mean, there's one thing. There's one thing. If you want to call yourself gender fluid, fine. That's fine. Whatever. But you start lifting luggage from the airport. That's
it's
like
borderline kleptomania, and that's
it's like hey, that's like robbing or stealing from a store. It's like shoplifting.
Yeah. I mean, what would prevent you from doing like, oh, I really like this painting from the White House, and just lifting a 1700s freaking painting of George Washington? Because,
or he's he's compromisable. I think in that case. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's as compromisable. Yes, I'm gender fluid or whatever. That's not being really. You're not being compromisable because you're kind of letting it all hang out. But then you become compromisable when you start breaking the law. So anyway, I wish them the best. He got fired. He's been fired. He's no longer an employee of the federal government. So
if they need someone to store nuclear waste for them, for $170,000 a year, I'm up for it. I'll give you my resume. I know a lot about nuclear waste disposal.
I'd do it for half, not half. I wouldn't do it for half. I'd do it for $100,000.
Yeah. I'd do it cheaper. I mean, it's super easy to store nuclear waste. It's taking cheese to do
it. You send it to Yucca Mountain.
Well, that's been shut down since like 2000.
Oh, reopen it. Come on, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. It's good. We'll just put some spackle.
Store it under someone's house in the proper containment, and it's free heat throughout the winter. I mean,
damn, dude, you're so smart. I'll let you take the job. So what else we got? Oh my gosh, this is a local story, but I think this made national news just because of the way that this kid looks. So check this shit out. Jeremiah Johnson. He's a running back from Fort Worth, Texas. He has the internet dumbfounded over his size and his maturity. This athlete became a viral sensation after a photo of him sporting what appeared to be facial hair and a tattoo surfaced on social media following the 2022 Youth National Championship over the weekend in Miami, where he was crowned MVP. Johnson, he goes to Dallas Dragons Elite Academy, the DEA. They won the championship game. Can be seen holding this trophy that reads 12U Division I Most Valuable Player.
Dude looks like he's 28.
He's 12. Like 12. He's not a teenager yet. So there was I think it was posted by the outfit in Miami that was putting this tournament on. And a lot of the responses to the post, this is pretty funny. I picked out 3, and then I've got my own. So the number one, it says, this comment says, I'm going to say he's 22. I can be convinced of maybe 17 to 21, but 12? Hell no. The second comment that I liked is, ain't no fucking way this person is 12 years old. The third one, which was good, it says, I demand Jeremiah Johnson's birth certificate. And I'm not talking about the I am 12 kind from Benchwarmers. I suggested, my comment, I thought my comment was good. It got deleted. I suggested that we cut them in half and count the rings. For some reason, that post was removed.
What?
It's like a tree. It was like a tree. You cut them in half and then you count the rings.
It's okay, he's 12, you said? 13, 12?
He's 12.
See, okay, I wish I would have had friends like that when I was young, because I would have had him going in the store to buy me cigarettes.
Or beer.
Yes. That's like he walk in there, no one IDing his ass.
So according to Johnson's Twitter profile, he's 5'11", 198 pounds, and he's eligible for college in the year 2027. So that checks out. That means he'll be 17. His mom...
He's a full-grown man.
He looks like it. His mom is all over social media defending her son. That's what good moms do, all right?
Yes.
She says that the tattoo's not real, but the facial hair is. So now that becomes a little bit more believable.
The fake tattoo. Oh my God! I would have loved him as a friend back in high school. I would have got him all fake tattooed up, walking into the liquor store, buying me some liquor. No one's gonna ID him at that point. He looks like a 30-year-old man.
He does. He really does.
Ooh, I wonder what he's gonna look like when he's 30, though. That's the scary part about it.
You know what I think? I think he's gonna look about the same. I think he's probably going to age pretty well. I don't know, man. I'm really on the fence, but I'm leaning toward this kid's legit. 12 years old, yeah. Some kids can grow facial hair.
I had a mustache at like 13, so I'll give it that. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't stand 5'11". Jeez. This kid's taller than I am.
What did I say? 5'11". You're a tall dude. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
You're 5'10"?
Well, I used to be 5'11", but I've shrunk my size.
You're shrinking.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick comes in again. And he goes, "City miles, not highway miles."
I guess.
So I'm leaning in the direction of believing mom. I believe this kid's 12. But Texas is pretty crazy and very, very competitive as far as sports goes, especially football.
Especially football, yeah.
So they will pay. I mean, it's illegal as fuck, but they will pay for like entire families to move into a district so the kid can go to a specific high school and play in their sports programs.
I know they do that. That's a big thing.
It's very very competitive.
High school football is like the thing in Texas. People don't realize that.
My kids were freaked out because when we left, they were born in Texas. They grew up in Texas, and then we moved to Ohio for a little bit. And their budgets in Ohio, in that section of Ohio, they go to like FFA programs. So they have this really badass FFA program, and the football team plays on a field that just has bleachers. There's no such thing as stadiums in Texas. Dude, the stadiums that the kids play in here in high school are amazing. And I think that's a lot in the South. I think Alabama's about the same way. Mississippi's about the same way. But I think Texas has got them all beat.
I remember moving, when I first had moved to Texas as a child from Pennsylvania. I remember the high school we had a decent high school football team kind of thing going on. Their stadium, I guess their field or whatever it is, had bleachers. Small little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Moving to a tiny little town, Diboll, Texas. You can go look it up. Tiny little town. 600 people maybe lived in it. Their high school football field was probably about 6 times the size of the city that I lived in Pennsylvania. It had 60,000 people living in it.
Wow.
And every Friday night when them football games, everyone from the town would be there.
Dude, Friday Night Lights was a thing. The entire town shows up.
It was crazy. People would go the whole way up to, like, they would follow the team. Yay! I was like, I couldn't get into it. I mean, I was never really a big football fan as a young kid. I was more of the band guy, the instrument artsy guy. So,
see, I ended up getting into it because my kids got into it. My daughter played in the orchestra. She played oboe, and she's like, I really want. And these are her words. She's like, I want to be in the marching band. I'm like, they don't march oboes, and she's like, then I'll play the drums. I'm like, you don't play the drums. I sold my drum set years ago, way before you were born. I don't know where you're getting this talent from. So she learned how to play the drums. She auditioned for the drum line, the drum line, and she got a position.
I played sousaphone.
Dude, that's so heavy.
Yeah, and I was a little guy too.
Yeah,
so.
but you get to dance, and yeah, that's cool. So I was really happy for my daughter. So I really got wrapped up into the high school football thing. So yeah, we traveled with the team when we could. If it was like a way far away, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, she always chose, she's going to ride the bus with the team or with her band, and so that was always cool. So anyway, dude, I think we're gonna wrap it up, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna close this year out on a high note. So I'm gonna let everybody know that we got new show. We're gonna have our normal shows. Monday is gonna be the Monday edition. Tuesday's Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and Radar. Sergeant's Time with Ice is gonna be on Thursday, and Friday is always gonna be Friday Night Freedom with me and Pookie. But we're gonna throw in a couple of more shows. On Sunday, we're gonna have Sports Bar. And on Wednesday, we're going to have the Smoke Pit. And the Smoke Pit's going to be Radar and TZ and the Smoke, not the Smoke, the Smoke Bar. No, the Sports Bar is going to be Coach. And who's gonna be joining Coach? Do you know? I can't think of the name right now.
I should know this, but I'm gonna say I failed.
So when we come back in the beginning of the year, we are going to have 6 shows a week, which is awesome. So the only Donza day that we have is going to be Saturday. We're going to have shows on all other days. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really awesome. This is the new look for Friday Night Freedom. I'm going to play with this a little bit. May or may not put Pookie in a bubble. I'm going to try to figure out what's the best disposition for Pookie. Pookie ain't going anywhere. I just don't know if he's going to be in a round bubble or some kind of a non-rectangular window.
Just put me in a poop emoji. I'll be happy with that.
I'll just have this like that way down here on the bottom right or something. Have like this poop emoji with Pookie's face in there just talking. Taxation is theft.
All right, everybody. Have to try and jump in on that Wednesday show. What is a Smoke Pit and a bomb radar once in a while.
I think it's going to be great, man. I love Radar. He's a smart guy. He can do a good show. Coach is he's got this infinite knowledge on sports and stuff. So I think it's going to be two really great additions to the WTF Nation repertoire of shows.
Yes.
So before we get out of here, you got any parting words for our lovely audience?
Yes. Like I said earlier, I was saying it earlier. If you're feeling a certain kind of way, make sure you reach out and just touch people. Not touch people, but reach out and get in contact with like your close friends, family, whatever. Just make sure they ain't suffering from the seasonal depression. And like I always say, don't drink and drive, because that's a bad thing to do during this time of the year. Don't kick your dog. Don't beat your spouse. And taxation is theft, as we all know. And have a very, very, very awesome holiday season.
Patrick said I should put you in a thought bubble. That would be awesome. Like a little thought bubble coming off of my head into you. Yeah. We're going to play with a few things, and we're going to make it work. So yeah, in closing, I'd just like to say thank you for a great year. I enjoy every single one of you. I appreciate I appreciate you tuning in every week and listening to my ramblings and putting up with all my gremlins, which we haven't had. We haven't had any gremlins since we started. All the gremlins happened before we started. That's why we were 8 minutes late. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and just make good decisions. If you don't think that you have anybody to reach out with, send the radio page a message. Send us a message. We'll get back with you, man. No reason for the seasonal depression to kick your ass, man. You've come this far.
You made it through 2020. Come on, man. 2022. You're here. We got to make it through 2023 together, because next year will be better.
I think everything's going to be awesome next year. We're going to have a really great year next year, and I hope that you are all here. So anyway,
I'm out of here. We're out of here. Have a good night. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and all of that good stuff. We'll see you in 2023. Shots.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.